연습 시간이 종료됐습니다. 선수들은 경기에 임해 주십시오.
The warm-up time is over and the official competition will now begin.
We're in second grade.
Sorry?
Like,
Yeah.
we're second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Тринадцать три шестерки.
O aquecimento.
Primeiro já está, depois faz a bucha e depois tu.
14,066. Está lá em cima.
Good in the air on that Yurchenko full twist, but a few landing deductions, which will cost a few tenths.
Does that mean it helps to be a little bit taller for the vaults in particular?
I think so. It's a little bit easier for these guys, the taller, more powerful gymnasts, to work on the vault, but it soon balances out when you come to bars.
Elegant gymnast with a bit of a step back there. 6 medals at the Southeast Asian Games. Which have had a useful competition. They're pretty decent. 13.633 for Abdul. Studies business at Monash University. Zarova, Russia.
Very well executed handspring, pike front with a half turn. Similar to Polina Fedorova, but I'd say that was as good, if not better.
12.566. 4 years back, so earlier, impressive. Zarova. Studying to be a coach. She's 24 years old, so she's pretty older, but experienced. Fortunate.
Elizabeth Gertz parting company with the bars. What a good start to her competition. There's 30 seconds now to remount. Just adjusting the handguards. Qualified in 18th place. Nice to pick it up and finish the routine. Twisting giant. And just a straight back dismount, playing safe.
From the Netherlands, home of Epke Zonderland, of course, one of the big stars of the last Olympics. High bar, absolutely wonderful display that was. Let's get back to the main group, and Elizalova 14.1, so Sim's still ahead. She's pretty happy with that, the D score at 5.0.
Yes, very nice vault that. This apparatus a little bit more difficult for the taller gymnasts. Those bars set at a set distance apart, and when you've got long legs, long arms, it becomes much more difficult to create the momentum needed to swing round.
Studying to be a doctor at the University of Amsterdam. very similar to Zondervan as well. Obviously, tradition of studying medicine and being a gymnast. One of those combination certainly helps. 12.566. Just a little more.
Passar a prova toda pelo aqui.
Goes 10.333. So rather than score there, but the D score was quite low as suggested before. So Sophie Braten from Norway.
Great Stradiega. Has to make the transition to the low bar, back up to the high bar, ready for the discipline. Work hard here, just the handstand, accelerating the giant. Unfortunate, good routine, double pike dismount, just pulled in a little too much, sat down. And I think she's very happy to be here. And as she should, she's enjoying the occasion.
The World Championships with Norway, get in the top 100 in any of the events. European Championships this year as well. Coached by a Romanian Antonio. Many gymnasts are around the world. That just seems to fall on her ankles a bit there.
Very difficult those backwards landings.
For the second warm-up, please be arranged in front of the apparatus.
Second warm-up now.
It's the second warm-up. Gymnasts having to present to the judges, and then another few minutes, and the same apparatus goes again. Definitely going to be a slow competition, this one, for the girls compared to the last few days.
Please be arranged in front of the apparatus.
So we're still in the top group, still among the favourites. For instance, the two Japanese, Asuka Teramoto, Natsumi Sasada. Two to look out for, 10.133 for Braten. Presented separately as well, so really it's like two separate.
Let us introduce the 8 gymnasts who will be competing next.
도마 경기를 펼칠 선수들입니다. 대한민국의 엄다연.
Local favourite.
대한민국의 허선희.
Together, Kyo Seung Lee and Kim Da-yeon.
일본의 아스카 테라모토.
from Japan.
2단 평이동 경기를 펼칠 선수들입니다. 멕시코의 마리아나 바스켓.
from Mexico.
슬로베니아의 카르멘 볼벤.
From Mexico.
슬로베니아의 카르멘 볼벤.
from Slovenia.
오스트리아의 지브네 페이커.
from Austria.
말레이시아의 엥 트레이시.
from Malaysia.
지금부터 도마와 2단 평공 종목 두 번째 결승 경기를 시작하겠습니다.
Now the second half of rotation 1 will begin.
2분간 연습.
2 minutes to warm up.
So the second group getting ready for the same apparatus as we saw earlier at these summer Universiade. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. Certainly enjoy being here in Gwangju. More than 13,000 athletes here overall. 272 gold medals in 21 sports. It's a huge event to put on. International coaching circuit. Very interesting. A lot of Romania seems to be the big exporter with Russia as well, is that fair to say?
Oh yes, I think there's been quite an exodus of quality Romanian coaches around the world, former Soviet Union as well. Lots of coaches have departed and imparted their knowledge to many other nations who have benefited from many years of great history of high-level gymnastics.
They don't have the same level of facilities available in Romania. I remember visiting the great Catalina Ponor just outside Bucharest, and I have to say the facilities here are far better than anything in Romania, and that was the centre of excellence for Romanian gymnastics.
Absolutely,
The
facilities very
warm-up time
important,
is over
as
and the
are
official
quality
competition
coaches
will now begin.
and the ability to be able to train enough hours to do the job. Just finishing the warm-up, slightly delayed.
Just explain to our viewers, the equipment is put in exactly the same place for every gymnast. Every vaulter doesn't change according to the gymnast's wishes.
They have, certainly for vault, for the springboard, they have their preferred distances, so the coaches would know exactly how far the springboard needs to be placed in front. And for the Yurchenko vaults that we're seeing quite a lot of, the backwards entry vaults, collar has to be put around the springboard just for safety, and there's a 0 score given if the coach inadvertently forgets to put that on. So lots of things for the coach to remember in the stress of competition. And there's a mat placed in front of the springboard for the hands just to make that a little bit more comfortable. Collar around the springboard for the Yurchenko vault, so we know that Yum is going to be performing the Yurchenko first to go.
So Yurchenko coming up now. Explain they go backwards to the vault. It isn't hard enough already. Really spectacular stuff.
There it is, performed with a full twist in the second flight. A little bit short on the landing, but got to her feet.
Not too happy with that. She suffered a slight injury there, or if it's just not very happy with the performance. Dayon. So the beam and leading bars fine.
A measured run up this one. Round off, back handspring, full twist, and a little deep in the landing.
How long has that been around the Yurchenko? Of interest.
Oh, we're going way back. Natalia Yurchenko, first person to do it. Can't remember exactly when, but it was maybe in the 70s sometime, so 30 odd years. Come a long way. They're now performing that with, I think, a triple twist has been performed by the women. North Korean gymnasts. I've seen that. I saw one twist, they've added 2 more.
Dayon at 6 coming up there. I think the lowest score so far. From Sim Fedorova, Martin and the others. Other South Korean, Yo Seonmi. Universiade a couple of years ago. Top 50 in the
That was a little bit better. Same vault, slightly better form in the air. And maybe a smaller deduction on the landing. Let's see, 1 or 2 tenths higher.
Should I get up and out?
on me. Everyone's going for her. She's studied at Jeju University. Slightly on the taller side of 160 as well. Coached so many young gymnasts. Is there some fear when they're going into the vaults? Even gymnasts that are very happy on the other 3. Is this the scariest apparatus in some ways?
It can be scary, yeah. It can be very solid if the gymnast is comfortable on it, but things can go wrong. If you don't contact the landing feet first, then it's a 0 score. And there's been some historic cases in the past where, in a team competition or an individual, a gymnast with great chances for doing well ended up not on their feet, scored a 0, and went to last in the competition.
3. Tokyo.
Yeah, it's very popular, this Yurchenko full twist. Very similar to the last gymnast. Slightly over to one side, but I think she managed to stay in the tram lines.
Decent pedigree, 23rd in the all-around 13 World Championships, and the Japan Nationals champion in the all-around. Regiment there.
Comes the replay. Getting now onto the horse, just got her hands right on the very end. Right at the far end. Very good shape in the air.
Following up on the last question, if you are coaching a girl who's just going on to the separators for the first time, what's the way of making it easier or more comfortable? There isn't a kind of step up to doing the vault. You just have to go for it. Is there a smaller vault? Is there?
Yes, there are preparations you can do. Every coach and every gymnast will have different tactics, but if you're performing that vault, for example, with a full twist, you might just do the same vault without the twist to warm up, or just a preparation just to get the run up right. Everybody has their own way. Some people like to perform a competition vault in the 30-second warm up just beforehand. But for me, it's all about repetition. You have to really perfect the skill back in the training gym thousands of times, and then repeat it on a competition condition. And then you reduce the risk of making a mistake in competition. That's why people like Vinaya for the men, so consistent. They've just practiced and practiced and practiced until it becomes automatic.
13.933. Teramoto. So 11th in the all-around. 3.32.
Nice hold, handspring, straight somersault with a half turn. Great style in the air, very fast. And people remember how the vault originated. It was really a vaulting horse. Certainly when I was a gymnast, it was long for the men and crossways for the women. That's changed in recent years to the vaulting table that we see now. Very good extension. Yes, and the vaulting table just gives more of a surface area for the gymnast to target, and especially with regards to the Yurchenko vaults that we're seeing, makes it a whole lot safer, I think.
Safer, also the ability to be more spectacular.
Absolutely, it's revolutionised the vault, certainly for the men. The women now performing 2.5 twists in the top exponents.
Have a look at the Austrian Simone Penka. Hurriedly underway. Austria qualified in 14th place.
The coach just pulling out the springboard. Straddle over now. Release the Jaeger straddle. Done well from Penka. Strength used there. Back up to the high bar. Hit those handstands. Avoid deductions. An interesting shoot front somersault with half turn dismount. Cleanly through.
Penka is this interesting story because she's one of several gymnasts who are actually studying in the United States, studying pre-med in Alaska, of all places, so used to the cold weather. Good job. Anchorage, the Austrian.
From the first time talking about, huh?
No, that's pretty good.
Austria. This routine. 14th, 48.65 was her qualifying score.
Comes the dismount forward, Exit, front somersault, half turn. And a smile to finish.
Kelly Sim, who's a leader, early leader. I think she's one crisp short on the right there. That was clever from the girl on the left. Her fellow spectator was looking away. Just on one of the crisps.
He's got to ride on another, I think.
11.9 at 3.3 for the Austrian. So some early scores. Martins 14.066, Zalova 14.1, Tomato 14.166.
Final gymnast on bars. Complete this round, Tracy Ang from Malaysia. Connection there. On half turn into the Jaeger. On and off. Moving well to the low bar. Straight back up again. Adjustment for the full twisting giant. And a double pike dismount. A few steps, but she's got through. That's the important thing.
Emma Nedoff from Australia. First of the Australian.
What's this from earlier?
Oh, Lauren Mitchell, I have to say. Top gymnast.
Excellent start
this week.
Coach is there living the routine. Getting her over. So far it's going well. Dismount, double front. Good routine from Emma Nedoff of Australia. She's pleased with that one. The toe on and off, full turn, straight into the toe on Corkina. Difficult dismount. Sorry, Jaeger. Catch the bar. And here is the dismount. Double front somersault. Rather blind on the landing. A little jump, safely to her feet.
14.266. The Australian Nedoff.
Top score on bar today.
Not bad.
So far.
종목 이동.
Gymnasts, please move to the next apparatus.
12.3 Tracy Yang. So there you have it. That's the end of that part of the evening's competition. Guangzhou Women's University. We completed a few months ago. It's a really nice arena as well. Too far from the city centre. 6,300 people can fit in here, and it's been adapted so it can host sports events and conferences after this event as well. Concerts as well. So, good news for Britain. Kelly Sim, 14.33 after one quarter of the competition. Experienced gymnast behind her, Suka Teramoto and Natalia Zalova. Philippa Martins also over 4.
먼저 이단 소형국의 4,000점, 평균 대회 4,000점, 총 12명 선수가 경기를 치르겠습니다.
Uneven bars.
Gymnasts out of 18 will be competing on the uneven bars, balance beam
The rest of the
apparatus.
standings.
(2분 30초간 연습)
2 minutes and 30 seconds to warm up.
It takes more than sleek lines and aggressive styling to attract some drivers. 328 horsepower that handles like this certainly qualifies as more. The 2015 Q50 from Infinity.
We're back. I am Hans. And I am Franz, and this is our State Farm agent, Charles, and we just want to pump you up.
Charles, what is it that you do?
Well, I save people money with the
Discount double check, discount double check.
Just to double check, what exactly do you do again?
Yeah, the savings part.
Like I said before, with the
Discount double check, discount double check.
Well, that's not exactly how
But
we
this
do
is
it.
exactly how we do it. Hit it, Jürgen. My pets are dancing with joy from all the savings.
Pump up your savings with a discount double check. Get to a better state. State Farm.
Let's have slightly longer to warm up on asymmetric bars, 50 seconds. 30 seconds on the beam, one touch each. And we're ready to go. Adjustment to the apparatus. Some gymnasts like the tension on the wires to be a little bit less, some like it very tight. Some gymnasts like to stick to the bars and put water on. Others need smoother bars. Very difficult when you're in a group of gymnasts from different countries to get all of that sorted out on the pressure of a competition warm-up. Malaysian gymnast coached by the Ukrainian. Been there for 20 years. Very settled.
Norwegian fans. Qualified second in the lot of us, so should be hoping for a medal, no doubt about that. 16.485. As you can see, full of difficulties.
연습 시간이 종료됐습니다. 선수들은 경기에 임해 주십시오.
The warm-up time is over and the official competition will now begin.
It's interesting, all the gymnasts just adding their own personal touch to the bar. More superstition than anything else, because surely that would change after the first gymnast has gone on.
In some ways it is. Gymnasts have their ways, they have their little habits and preparations. It's very, very important for every individual to be happy and comfortable with the apparatus they're working on.
Feel for the bars. Should be standardised, but there's no difference. B, we're going to have Nedov, Abdusalimova, Gertz Bratten and Vasquez.
Then on the beam, starting her first big combination pro series. Not a wobble, that's good. So to combine the acrobatics with the dance, spins, show great stability throughout. Walk over, ship jump. 1 minute, 30 seconds long. Avoid a penalty. Very difficult front somersault. Line landing, slightly out the line, and you're off. recover her composure now. Tight dismount. One error. As I said before, very difficult apparatus. It's all about going through on this, start to finish.
Nedoff studies in Melbourne, Australian Catholic University.
We go with Polina Fedorova for the bars. Doing well in those transitions. To the high bar, the Mo. Finishing the handstand straight into the Stradiaga. Good connections. Still the circle. Accelerating for a full twisting double back somersault. Good work from Fedorova.
Fedorova, one of the two Russians in contention then. Pleased with that. She was not in the top 10.
Молодец, не расслабился немножко. Все, давай, давай, улыбнись в камеру.
Yes, I think the coach is quite pleased with that performance. It's important for the gymnast to feel very confident and motivated. If you're happy, you're certainly going to perform better.
Then. 13.733.
Big score.
Certainly a big improvement from qualifying. There's the American fans. Being delighted to have seen Body getting a bronze medal earlier in the men's competition. Not too happy with that this year. Bars.
Fast Felipe Martins. Different qualifications. Line turn into a high pike Jaeger. Adjustment of the hands. Get herself square in the middle. Full twisting. Giant. Winding up now for a full twisting double back. Second clean routine. Felipe's on her way.
She's an all-around finalist in the last World Championships, so she has pedigree. That's net off 13.166, the Australian.
Yes, rather down on her qualification score. Martin scored 13.85 in qualification. Let's see if she can top that today. Height on that. Good form, knees locked together. Solid landing.
Thank you.
Score, one of the favourites, and she was going on the beat. Gets ready. Go on. More relevance to the final score of the medalist is Felipe Martins, 13.766.
Eu tenho apenas baixo, mas até não foi mal.
That's good.
Será que ela não viu? Mas ouviu-se mesmo.
So far safe.
Quite as good as in qualifying though.
Almost an identical score as Polina Fedorova, 13.733. Neck and neck at the moment.
Abdul from Malaysia. Tall gymnast. Bars.
High bar. Straight leg coming in. Connection into that corkina. Catch it. One of the requirements, release and catch. The bars. Quick adjustment there, well done. Giant. Dismount. Good double pike. Lovely routine.
For Abdul, qualified in 9th. 9. Lots of work.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you. I see from different angle is the left is so open now for the play up.
Yeah.
Really tight.
But I think earlier.
12.95.
I don't feel any mistake.
Complications.
She's very comfortable. Yes.
Comfortable, very comfortable.
Somersault to the high bar. Good form on that double pike. All smiles. Let's hope it stays that way. Good time, clearly.
Stand by, go.
Abdul.
Yeah.
Waiting for the score.
Oh, push it. Alas, dulu deh. Bebek. Dulu deh. Tak aku ke. Okay, bah. Kalau bah aku habis air aku bila. Okay, bebek. Sekarang kan dah habis bah. Habis tak habis bah.
Amazing contingent. Very pleased to be here.
13.1.
2.1.
Improvement on qualifications.
Okay.
Well, Elizabeth Gertz having a few problems on the beam.
Apa dia?
Came off a few seconds ago off screen.
Apa? Sarangi. Okay. Okay.
Abdul still in only contention for enjoying her evening in Guangzhou. Elizabeth Gertz has come off for at least a second time, I've counted. They struggling. Third day of action from the Summer Universiade. Korea have already won 10 gold medals across all the sports, 7 silvers. Japan have won 9 golds, China 8, Italy and France 4 each. Action in the bars.
Go with Maria and Zarova. Straight into that pike, Jaeger. Working with speed and precision at the moment. Throwing an off full turn. Back salto. Waiting to catch a bar that wasn't there. Looks as surprised as we are. Lifting up there. Slightly blind. Reaching out. Just a little fumble. What a shame. That was a great start.
Не надо уже дальше продолжать. Перелеты снизу не хотят. 6, 5,
30 seconds. Bounce. Half turn double front somersault finish. What a shame. Beautiful routine marred by the fall.
Take back her score. Zarova. Russian team. Uzbek. Salimova.
just about to go on the beam now. Interesting mount, straight up to splits. The front somersault that Emanedov had so many problems with. That's how to do it well. Big layout, steady job. Slight adjustment there, but still upright on the beam. Big cartwheel. Series. Twists. He's cleanly through.
Just a picture from a few seconds ago. That's 13.4 confirmed. For, that routine.
Yes, a good score on the beam. Abdul Salimova.
Good experience at World Championships, been to 3. 2011, 13, 14. Qualified for a final. But yeah, see that one fall, it's well under 12. Da-yeon from South Korea.
Safely through the transitions. Into the Corkina. Back up on the high bar now. Giant, just the dismount to go. It's good, full twisting double back. In front of the home crowd.
Not one of the early favourites, but I've seen some of the big names make a mistake or two. Forget you've got to pick.
It's all to play for in this format. 4 apparatus clean. It's a very close competition. Only one of 10 gymnasts could end up in the medals.
Martins leads for the moment. Just finishing off the second rotation. Martins 14.066 and 13.766. 27.832. Height there. I've enjoyed that. Back to the beam and we're back live.
First chance to see Mariana Vasquez of Mexico. Slightly out of line and off on that kick layout. 10 seconds just to get back on again. Back somersault. Spin wobbles, but Now. Operators. The best of times move in front of an audience in a major manifestation. It's still pressure. Above the point of support. Another fall. Sort of direct that performance. And that's all part of the job, being able to go to the next apparatus and start afresh. Don't let it affect you in the all-around.
On Daeyeon, 13.6 for the South Korean. It's up to third. Provisional standings, very much provisional at the moment. So some of the big names haven't gone through to apparatus. The technical errors there. She came off.
It's quite a difficult format, this. In the first rotation, the gymnast that went first then moves down to the second group, which is why we haven't seen Kelly Sim performing in the rest of the top girls. So she'll go in the second round on bars. We'll be about to start.
So we'll be introduced to the second half of the rotation. Disappointed Velasquez, but part of the game. Fans don't have any women gymnasts cheering. There is a very, very big American delegation. It's good to see that they're back at Universiade. 605 athletes in all sports, the Americans. 4 have more. Basketball fans in particular looking forward to the American representatives here, University of Kansas. The basketball, if you think that Americans will dominate student basketball, think again, because it's anything but the Universiade. The earlier action from today. Naev of Ukraine getting the all-round title after a bronze medal 2 years ago, continuing a wonderful season for him. Silver for Japan and Nonomura, and the Americans are the same thing, the bronze through Modi. All below 10. She mustn't let that get her down. She's not here to win a medal or even be top 5. It's getting a good score, getting good experience and representing her country.
Yep, got to pick herself up. Go to the next apparatus fresh.
Of course, she doesn't have the big coaching team that the Russians and the others do either. So we're getting ready.
시간이 선수들은 경기에 임해 주십시오.
The warm-up time is over and the official competition will begin.
Finishing off.
Slight delay for the uneven bars. 50 seconds for each girl. So Kelly Sim just finishing off now. Very strictly timed by one of the judges who make sure that they only spend their 50 seconds and don't eat into another gymnast warm-up time. The bars, quick preparation, ready for the first gymnast in the second group.
believe, in South Korea.
Well on this upper 80s in qualifications. Third place with a 13.95. The head judge there signalling that they're ready. Away she goes. Turn. Coach getting ready. The release. Nicely done. Now double straight. It was a great performance. The host on the well received by an appreciative and vocal audience.
Getting a great ovation. 7th on the uneven bars at the last Universiade. With Hyo, so top 20 place at the World Championships years ago.
It's a nice Markelov release. Broken and then off turn into that straddle.
Any similarities between the uneven bars and the high bar for the men? Similar techniques, or is it
slight variations, but the moves are becoming similar. Most of the moves that the men try have been tried by the women. A little bit more difficult for the women who can't be fully stretched between the two bars. And of course, uneven bars wooden, and the high bar metal. And so
2.1. That's a good score.
That's a very good score. Improved on a qualification. It's going well.
Delighted with that. To the 14.833 on the vault. Maybe a medal candidate.
Definitely 2 good pieces so far.
Sumi Sasada for Japan. Japanese national champion. Round.
Stolder, blind turn. There's an element borrowed from the men's program as we were speaking about. Squat dislocate into the Jaeger, very nicely done. Twisting giant into the Kachev. Oh, well done, stayed the right side of handstand. Twist into that double back somersault. Quality routine from Sasada. He's going to score well, I think.
Sasada coming in to the final as the 5th best qualifier, 53.850.
A few different elements there. You see the rotated grip, the L grip, into that straddle Jaeger somersault. Came from the squat dislocate, that Adler type element that we see in the men's program normally.
Just waiting on the score then. For Sasada. Candidate for a medal. 5.33. She's the 5th best.
Este
Currently third, but plenty of candidates leading candidates still to go through this routine. We'll follow up next. Teramoto, and we're talking about body shapes and body forms, relative advantages, disadvantages. Teramoto was the smallest athlete at the last Olympic Games in any sport, I believe. Of the more than 10,000 athletes, she was the smallest, 1 meter 36, 30 kilos.
She's using that well, doing a ginger inside the bars. You can't do that if you're much taller. Maybe working on her strengths. Another double back with full turn. Some great routines today on the asymmetric bars. Coach is very pleased, as is Teramoto.
She's the uneven bar champion in the Japanese Nationals 2014, so we shouldn't be too surprised. Silver in the all-arounds. Behind Sasada, so we've got the top 2 Japanese all-around gymnasts tonight.
Coach very vigilantly watching, ensure safety at all times.
Teramoto, pleased with that. Let's see what the judges think.
13.8 a few days ago.
Just getting a clearer idea now of the candidates for the medals. It was a very, very open field up to the halfway mark. At the moment it's Hyo Seon-mi, 27.933, top of the pile. Hansen still to go. Martins has gone 27.832. Certainly close. Japanese in contention is Asada, 27.466. .14.233.
Top scorer on bars. That will really help her in this all-around competition. 2 scores above 14. If she can keep that up, she's well in the running.
She's certainly leading now. She's the only gymnast above 28 points. As you say, 2 14s. Kelly Sim.
Comes the bars, starting well with a go on full turn. Stoop stolder. Straight up to the high bar. There's the stoop Kachev. And the stoop in. Lovely hop into the forward giant. Just the dismount now. Double straight. Excellent work. And still there, fighting for a medal halfway through this competition.
Yep, super dismount there.
Really coached by Keith Richardson and Debbie Hampton out of the Dynamo Gymnastics Club. There's Keith, formerly a men's coach, had some excellent results with some of these gymnasts going to the Olympic Games many years ago. Now giving great knowledge to some of the best women in Great Britain.
Teramoto has 28.399. Let's see what the score Kelly will do.
He scored 13.8 a few days ago. Watched by her parents in the audience. Quite nerve-wracking for them, I should imagine.
Another one being Gina. Gina, if there's another one on being. South Africa?
Yeah, I think someone's about to go on.
She's last.
There's still Kelly just very professional about, very good work, getting on with it.
lots of experience. Europeans. She'll be hoping to form part of the selection. There's the men's team from Great Britain showing their support for their teammate Tom Gibbs, Gabriel Hanna. Their competition finished now, so they can relax.
Confirmation there, Tara Motto, as you said, 2 scores over 14. Quite a healthy lead at the moment, but we're going to see what Sim has from the judges. She should be pretty close to the Japanese.
Nice to see some support from Great Britain.
Come a long way.
William True's parents.
We're waiting on that score. Kelly Sim, taking a while.
14-3-3.
Yeah, let's hope.
Oh. Touch of bar.
Nice. Oh. No, I think.
Judges really taking some time over this one, I can see down there.
It's under, yeah.
Great Oksana Emelianchik, one of the judges on underneath the bars.
Thanks.
Yeah, steeped in gymnastics will know that she was a wonderful worker on the floor, especially many years ago.
14-3-3-3 for Sim. It's another one well over 14. That'll do her hopes of power good.
Absolutely.
Good work from Sim. She is top of the pile after 2 rounds. 28-6-6-6. Just ahead of Teramoto, 28-3-9-9. Still a bit of a lead. So how would you assess the first half of competition?
Well, there have been a few falls, but very good for Kelly J. Sim and Teramoto. And of course, the local favourite, Hyo-seon Mi. Still in with a chance though, Felipe Martinez and Atsumi Sasada. They're just a little bit off, but beam is going to be the testing piece. Those that can get through that apparatus will have the best chance. Really good routine, especially on bars today.
Selection from the beam. Seems to be much tighter competition, certainly for gold, than the men's competition.
Waiting for the score for Tracy of Malaysia. Claudia Cummins just waiting by the beam, often the most nerve-wracking time. Sometimes the judges keep you waiting too long. It can be very difficult to prepare. Nathan Barr's top score in that apparatus for this competition.
So Simone Penka, Alaska, Austria.
Good start, but a confident one. Front somersault now. That great start, the fall on the tutback.
These pictures from just a few minutes ago.
Second front somersault, really likes to go forwards. Somersault with full twist to finish. Of course, for some of these gymnasts, Universiade provides perhaps the only opportunity they might have to compete in a multi-sport event. Not all of the gymnasts here are working up towards world and Olympic level. So this, one of their biggest experiences in gymnastics.
Score gone in 11-3, 6-6. 0.267, and then Hyo is 0.733 behind the leader. And as you're saying, Martin's less than a point behind, 0.834. So certain margins there. It's going to be an exciting finish. Second half coming right up.
Yes, we've got Fedorova down in 6th place, but she was top scorer on the floor. And things can move around if she competes well on the final piece of apparatus. Can also get back into the running. She isn't going to be played out until the last few gymnasts.
Top gymnasts have gone on the vault and on the bars.
It's rather different to the men's competition we saw earlier, where there was Ganayev with a very strong lead right the way through. This is close right to the end, I suspect.
Well, next up on the beam, top gymnasts, certainly the candidates. Look at the qualifications. Sasada was excellent on the beam, 14.25, and then Fedorova 13.85. This wasn't the best for Sim, so I don't see a change at the top.
I feel very sorry at the moment for Claudia Cummins. She's been kept waiting for over 5 minutes, I would say, and the score looks like it's finally out.
This Cummins 1 meter 62, but you know, she studies sports psychology, also it's the perfect thing to study in this situation.
She'll have to draw on her skills at the end of this routine.
University of Johannesburg.
Free cartwheel. Difficult to settle after such a long wait, I do feel, for this gymnast. Dismount, double pike, and again over-rotating the landing. Forget about that.
The struggle for Cummins. It's a joint last at the moment. Finalists. Encouraging pat on the shoulder.
I don't understand that you have to wait so long. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, good work. Neat. Wasn't a problem with anything else.
Sim Taramoto and Hyo under the standings. This routine again. That's where.
Yes, the mistake. Yeah, to the left.
Greatest it requires precision. That gap 0.267 from Sim to Teramoto at the top.
Please move to the next apparatus.
Quick gathering up of belongings, and around we go. Beam group moves round to floor, and the top seeded group from bars to the all-important beam.
Talk about the last British success at these games were 3 Universiade ago. Beth Tweddle on the floor and uneven bars, 2 gold medals. Belgrade, Serbia.
Yes, Beth's had such an illustrious career. World champion on the uneven bars, of course, and then that bronze medal in the London Olympics. It really provided a boost to the whole gymnastics programme for men and for women. And there's so many young girls, maybe Kelly Sim as well, that might have started the sport or progressed in the sport simply by watching and seeing that Beth Tweddle could make it possible to take medals and not just participate at these major events.
Indeed, even at Universiade, you know, Beth was up against a very strong Chinese team. I think a good team. So Zhang Yuan, Hei Ning, Cheng Fai. Coming back with 2 gold medals for this team in Serbia.
2 minutes and 30 seconds to warm up.
So the next warm-up, as you can see, the women getting ready for the floor. Quite a liberating experience for the women getting on the floor after being on the beam. Just to let out a little emotion and expression.
Yeah, I think if you can get past the beam, it can be quite a relief to go to the floor, use a bit of adrenaline and power to dance and express yourself, knowing that it's a little bit more difficult to fall off that apparatus.
So on the beam then, Martins, Abdul, Elizarova, Uman Hyo, donc candidates there for medals. Sada Teramoto, Sin, Fedorova. This could be where this competition is won and lost. Am I exaggerating? What do you think, Paul?
Yes, definitely. I think so. The beam, so often in the past, provided the upset in major competitions. Chinese great exponents on this piece of apparatus. They train for hours and hours to ensure a level of consistency. Romania, of course, also numerous exponents. Catalina Ponor, you mentioned.
Ponor made that wonderful comeback at the Olympic Games when he'd written her off, went home with another medal. So with so many candidates on the beam, it's safe to say any big mistakes probably puts you out of contention for the medals, as if there wasn't enough stress already.
Yes, at least a marked deduction if you fall off, and that's going to send people tumbling down the rankings. So the pressure's on for our first gymnast, Filipa Martins of Portugal. Safely through the acro series, drawing on her great experience to be able to be calm. Very difficult spin with the leg up high there. Free walkover connection. Extension on those leaps. Very solid so far. Wow, it's very hard to rescue that side somersault, major wobble, but importantly, staying in contact with the apparatus. Breath gathers for the dismount. 2.5 twist. That's good.
Did well there, Martins. It was interesting, just as she started her routine, the music started for Abdullah Salimova. I suppose it's better starting than halfway through the routine, isn't it?
Yes, gymnasts really have to work to blot out all of the noise, all of the so many distractions, people moving around, the audience screaming. It can be very, very difficult to concentrate on, especially on the beam.
That's the other ankle. We can see just a little wobble here, but as you say, did really well to stay on. Relief. We saw relief on the face there just ahead of the dismount. Well, at least haven't made too many errors.
Scored a 13.55. Here was the major wobble. Really rotating the arms just to try and keep a balance above the beam.
Part in itself, isn't it? Just staying on when it looks like you're going to fall off. That was a dismount, which was good.
Yep. Still in contention, I feel.
It's fourth, but less than a point off the leader, Sim. Result 13.5.
Yes, it's a good set of scores. Remember, Kelly Sim already has 2 14 scores. Let's see what happens on the beam.
Abdul. Currently 8th place.
To have a confident approach. She looks like she's doing that. Right back, losing sight of the beam. Begin to tuck back. Adjustment there. Series. Cartwheel. Fox on the end of the beam, ready for double twist dismount. Working well.
Abdul just staying on the mat. 9th place. Reaction. It's a little bit like Martin's, a smile of relief. It's not the same for all the gymnasts. To concentrate after and very business-like. Some seem to want to release between the various apparatus.
Always fascinating to see the emotions that play at this level of competition. Some people very relaxed and happy, others very focused and determined right to the end. I'm not sure there's any right way, but I don't think it does any harm to smile and enjoy the experience. It's important to look back on your career, I think, and think positively and try to enjoy the experience.
Abdul. Just with that step to the right. So, mat. 26.733. So she won't be getting a medal, but she is enjoying it, and looks like she's on for a top 10 place after the Southeast Asian Games performance. 6 medals. We've just seen Abdul Salimova 13.266 off screen. We will be seeing action from the floor. So it's very popular. US finish off the floor. Just wait for Abdul's score. See Abdul again on the vault tomorrow. On the floor as well. 12.966, just a shade below 13. Quite a bit into good beam.
Yep. That mistake on asymmetric bars. Just the low bar. Very powerfully into that pike front somersault. Top draw difficulty. Not a wobble. Also recovered well. Bars. Wow. What a fight. What a connection. Once again, the music starting on Zarova, represented Uzbekistan, now working for Russia. Beautiful double pike somersault. A major wobble in the middle, and some very complex difficulty in there.
Always having to take some risks after that error. Bars. Said it so many times this competition, the all-around. First thing, cutting out any mistakes. Unfortunately, wasn't the case for the effort. Sophie Bratton Norway on the floor. Keeping up to date with what's going on there, but focusing very much on medal candidates. Zarova was one of them, expecting her to challenge, but it didn't quite come off for her.
This was the connection. Leap into a front somersault immediately, fighting so hard.
And does the fact that her hand touched the beam suddenly productions?
I think so. We'll be getting close to one mark. It's one mark if you fall off, but all of the wobbles and movements will go down in the judge's notebook. Third day in a row of competition for these girls. And for some, more work tomorrow. Quite a demanding schedule.
Action continuing on the floor with Mariana Vasquez. So there will be some noise once the next gymnast comes on the beam. At least it started before. Some action from the floor. Vasquez disappointing on the beam a few seconds ago.
She started well. Full twisting double back. And a good double spin. Faster. Double somersault over rotated and to her back. Twist, a few more wobbles there. Keep going. And it is.
Tough for Vasquez, wasn't it? But she did struggle on. I remember the Mexicans had a pretty good Universiade. You remember a couple of years ago with Daniel Corral getting a silver on the pommel horse, and Elsa Garcia on the floor. So really good. Universiade a couple of years ago.
Yoon Daeyeon on the beam. Very nice 1.5 spin with the leg high. Another good combination there. Good cartwheel into flick. Steady so far. Very difficult double spin. I've seen people wobbling on a full spin, but he's obviously very contented with pirouettes. Second one in this routine. And a double twist dismount.
Off the beam then, after scores of 13-5, 6-6, 13-6. First two operators. There's Elizarova, 13-5, 3-3. Currently third, but the big medal candidates yet to their third piece of operators. Meanwhile, Vasquez, straight 11 for the floor. That ready to go on the floor as we see the end of Oom's routine.
Look at this double spin. Tiniest surface areas to work on. Work from Korean gymnastics.
From a few minutes ago, Mariana Vasquez, because on the floor at the moment is Carmen Horvat of Slovenia. 13.2 for fourth best so far. Elizarova 13.533. It's going to be important now for Hyo Seon-mi just to block out the noise, the music.
Composed. Pro Series. Shane. Big layup. Feet down, but just couldn't control the landing. Side somersault. Composure now, preparing for the all-important dismount. Double pike and a second tumble for Hyo.
Those two mistakes. Remember, Hyo started in third place at halfway, but that might put pay to any hopes of a medal because it's so close at the top. So Hyo should be in the top three after the beam.
Yes, the dreaded beam. We're just preparing the second groups. The fall looked like she was going to stay on, but just couldn't rescue the last bit.
Martin scored 3.5 on the beam. 13.5, of course, 13.2 for Elizarova, she's out of the section, probably. Impressive score, 13.533. Best and worst of Hyo Seon-mi, South Korea.
Pulling hard for that dismount, a little too hard. Probably wish they could have another attempt, but very unforgiving sport. One chance, that's it. You've got to hit it in the right moment.
Abdul Salimova from a few minutes ago now. 4 or 5 minutes ago, but it was an excellent routine. Best so far.
Expressive dance, good style. Very high on the leaps. Extension. Very well. Great expression, great dance, great interpretation of the music. Great choreography in this routine. And a half twist, legs locked together. Solid job.
Well, from Niels-Beck, best so far, 13.266, although we have some of the big guns coming up on the floor later on. An update of what's going on then. Martin's leading, 41.332. She was best in qualifying. Very important beam routines coming up. Kelly Sim, Masuka Teramoto, top two. That was 13.266 confirmation of that. I think it's going to be disappointment for Hyo, yeah, 11.6. Might well put her out of contention for the medals. So Sasada on the beam, back live.
Nice combination, good extension. Straight back somersault, lovely height. Solid front somersault. This looks good. Free cartwheel. Full height extension on the leaps. Top scorer in qualifications on this apparatus, 14.25. She's going well at the moment. Excellent double pike back. Really in with a shout now. That was a fantastic routine from Natsumi Sasada.
Delighted with that. We shouldn't be surprised, Paul, because she was best on the beam qualifying by quite a distance, by a quarter of a point. Sasada, she does like beam clearly. Comfortable. The body language as soon as she was on that beam. Seemed nervous, uncomfortable. I'll say that about all the gymnasts. It's the most exacting piece of equipment.
Yes, you need a confident approach. If you think you're going to fall, you probably will. You have to get on there with the intention of going through from start to finish.
Balance being for nothing. Impressive work this was just now.
Yes, it's going to score well.
Sasada. Very important score. Going right back up in the rankings. So just waiting. Paper looks like a weaker apparatus for Kelly. It's 14.5.
Yes,
Good
big
work.
score, big improvement, and straight into the lead with that massive score. 41.966, just on 42, 7/10 above Philippa Martins.
Top quality work on the beam. To Teramoto, smallest athlete in the Olympic Games in any sport. She's got a real chance of gold here. It's beam.
Beautiful double spin. Great poise, great extension, beautiful clean lines. This apparatus is all about. flicks into a layout. Right across the length of the beam. Solid as a rock. Excellent routine from the Japanese gymnast. Japan must be very happy with that effort on this difficult apparatus.
Clearly worked on that. Just the one step forward on the dismount. Really good work from both the Japanese there. Teramoto certainly in the medal chance after this. Some extra pressure on Sim.
180 degrees of split, the requirement. Swinging very effectively there.
Dismount one step forward.
Remoto just 3/10 behind Kelly Sim, you remember. So it'll be useful to compare this score and the next one.
.1, 0.4 below Sasada, but still very impressive and still the second best.
And straight into the lead on the all-around, 42.4 against Sasada, her teammate 41.966, as we watch Kelly Sim start the third apparatus. And a fall in qualification, she'll be looking to go clean today. Section now. Big layout, solidly through. Excellent front somersault. It's all going well so far. Good. No major wobbles so far. It's the dismount. Double pike. Big step back, but a vast improvement on her qualification performance. Should see the score go up and keep her in contention. Coach Keith Richardson more than happy with that, and I'm sure Dean Coach Debbie Hampton very relieved back home in Southampton. Good job, Kelly.
It's 13.83 to go top.
The numbers. I think it's the numbers.
Yeah, okay. You come to me now.
Look at that. Some good work from Kelly Farr. She can handle this piece of apparatus. 13.9. Have a lead going into the final round. Teramoto and Sasada, the two Japanese gymnasts. We shouldn't be surprised with the top two in Japan.
It's a real test of mettle to perform on this apparatus. Courage, confidence, and the ability to work under pressure. Well, he has all of those in abundance.
She has 13.866. That's my word, that's close.
Wow, the stage is set. Less than a tenth between Kelly J. Sim and Teramoto, with Polina Fedorova also in the running, about to go on the beam.
Even closer.
Acrobatic series safely through. Somersault. Shoulders in line with the knee. Walk over, sheep jump. Also good. Safely through, 2.5 twist, and she's in contention as well. It's all shaping up to be a great floor finale.
So we're ready to go on the floor in a few minutes. Just digesting what went on the balance beam. So good work. Sim, especially Teramoto and Sasada, Japanese, mastered that balance beam ahead of this competition. Quick look at Emma Nedov. We're back live on the floor. Straight as Nedov.
Right on that double Arabian. Australia, of course, great tradition on this apparatus with Lauren Mitchell, world champion. Straight back there. And a double twist dismount to finish. A very expressive routine from Emma Nedov of Australia.
Score for Fedorova, 13.733, fourth best.
Good job, Reese. Your dance is so good.
Takes her up into 5th place, Fedorova, 41.1.
3-2, she's 0.2 of a point behind Martins. Sasada a touch below 42. But the gap between Sim and Teramoto is 0.033, if my math is correct, which is really very tight indeed. Fair to say, so best on the floor to go over the goal, but don't rule out Sasada either, or indeed Martins.
Exactly right.
이것으로 여자 개인조합 결승 경기 진출자
16명이 evenly matched on the floor for qualification. Kelly Sim 13.9, Teramoto 13.7, just a couple of tenths in it. So it's very, very tight going into the last round.
It looked like a Claudia Cummins from South Africa. This was a few minutes ago.
double twist. Safely through the double plate somersault. Last tumble from Claudia Cummins, Johannesburg. 12.833
I told you, good girl.
on the floor exercise.
That puts her in 12th place. Getting some congratulations from her competitors. That's good to see. There's Ned off 13.
오늘 경기 마지막 종목 이동이 있겠습니다. 선수들은 정면해 주십시오.
Talked about the leaders further down there. Ned off with that score getting into the top 10. She's 9th in
종목
Australia.
이동.
Elizalova down in 10th.
To the next apparatus.
And a little bit above them, Hyo Seon-mi at the top then. Sim with that very, very narrow advantage. The good news for Sim, her coaches, is that she did get a better score than the two Japanese in qualifying, 13.9. Teramoto 13.7, Sasada 13.5.
2 minutes and
Question
30
is, going into
seconds
this
to warm
final
up.
round, how much are the gymnasts going to think about?
Diesel cars are noisy. Turn it on.
It's on, Mary.
It's off.
It's on.
It's off.
It's off.
So you just turned it off?
No, it's on.
It's still on?
It's nice and quiet.
It's a facade or a facade? It's a facade.
Top scorer 14.1 on this apparatus. If she puts that in, that could see her in a better position.
Certainly the Russian in 5th. Exciting. The best parts of gymnastics when the women come to the end of the all-around. They can really put everything into it. This is where the adrenaline is coming out. It can be expressive. Put everything into the last routine. For them, will allow maximum individuals, but put everything into this. Hope for the very best. The lower ranked gymnasts going in the vault as well. Gertz, Bratt and Vasquez fall back, and Penka.
Looks like the Japanese gymnasts Sasada and Teramoto will be split in this subdivision on floor. Sasada going in the first round, Teramoto in the second. And Kelly Sim will be following them.
Shame for Hyo Seon-mi, wasn't it? Because 11.6 on the beam has put her well down the standing.
Yes, she's going well.
연습 시간이 종료됐습니다. 선수들은 경기에 임해 주십시오.
The warm-up time is over and the official competition will now begin.
So warm-up's over. Ready to go with the Malaysian Binti Farah Abdul. In 7th place.
Final apparatus then. She'll certainly enjoy this. Beautiful double tuck somersault to start off. Double spin. Leg held high. Dancing round. Great expression. That's working not only with coaches, but also choreographers on this piece of apparatus. Specialists in their field. Bring out the character of the gymnast, as well as the classic interpretation of the double pike, second double somersault. great finish for Binti Farah Abdul. Her last piece of apparatus. And she's beaming from ear to ear, rightly so. Good competition.
Great nice work for Abdul. We'll see her again tomorrow. Looking forward
Yeah,
to
just
that.
double back. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well done.
Pressure we were talking about earlier, but she hasn't let it show. Great young woman. That's a brilliant performance. She's going to be in the top 10, little doubt about that.
Nice finish. And our country proud.
That's the best so far on the floor. Previous best was Abdul Salimova, which we saw.
An all-round score of 53.1. 2/10 up on her qualification. Must be happy with that.
Zarova.
Discussion from the judges, sometimes debates over the start score, the difficulty. Judges have to accrue the 8 elements, women's gymnastics, the 8 most difficult elements to give the start score.
All that result is just come up 13.53. 11th best. Got time to stick on the ball with Penka.
Apparatus then for Simone Penka of Austria. And a handspring front somersault, cleanly executed.
I've never concentrated so much on my run.
That's why I made you do that, so you weren't thinking about the camera. Good girl.
You weren't thinking about the camera, that's good. We should say that this is a very mediatised event, and perhaps someone like Penka is not used to so many cameras around her, media around her. That's what was the message coming from the coach, just forget what's going on around you. Concentrate. Oh,
absolutely right. So many gymnasts there that do well, they try to just think that they're back in the training gym doing just another repetition of the routine. Forget about the occasion and just do what you know best. Still waiting for Elizarova. Judges, the execution judges have to come in within a certain range of each other. And if the range is too big, then they can be called in.
Is that Steve Butcher's role at that stage to come in as the head of the judges, if you like?
Well, Nelly Kim.
Oh, it's Nelly Kim's
big role on his technical committee, so she'll be looking into any decision. I can see her walking.
12-9 for Penka, by the way, but just explain what's going on now, why it's taking so long, what's the process, because you've judged yourself international competition.
Yes, there'll be something to do with the evaluation of that routine, either the D difficulty, 8 elements going together, and some discussion or some debate as to whether or not the skill was given, whether the split was enough, whether the dance series combined, whether the twist was round enough. That has to be sorted out. The other possibility could be from the 6 E-jury judges being out of a certain range. That score, of course, a little bit subjective, but they still have to be within a range in order for the score to go in. So, judges may be looking at a video replay. They'll certainly be taking instruction from, there's Nelly Kim there. Telesacchi just trying to provide some technical assistance to the panel on the floor.
To get it absolutely right, of course, it could affect a medal, so they're absolutely right to take their time.
And now we look at Sophie Bratton on the vault. Pite Sugahara from Sophie, completing her competition today.
Dedican 2 years ago, Kazan, she's here again. The superstar of the Montreal and Moscow Olympics, took 5 gold medals in all.
Tremendous experience, both as a gymnast, a judge, and now head of the Women's Technical Committee. There's quite a connection with Korea. A Korean father, Tatar mother.
There's a time limit on how long gymnasts can take, but none on the judges, it seems.
Yes, I've been to many events where the audience have begun the slow hand clap. And it does need to be sorted out.
Just to be clear, the next gymnast can't start until the scores come up.
Which it has.
Finally. 39. With the execution 8-1, the difficulty was 5-8.
It's a good score. Puts her into first place at the moment. Just a 10th above the Abdul.
So the wait is over. Dayon.
Right in the double tuck somersault, but the flag went up, foot out of the floor area. And a small reduction. Just came out a bit short. Took a tumble on the full twist combination. It cost them. Breath. Final tumble. Finish for day now running back forwards.
It didn't start too well. The full count over the line, the red flag was raised. Elizarova, just to confirm, is leading for the moment, just ahead of Abdul. Male candidates ready to go. Sim, Teramoto, and Sasada.
The warm-up about to begin for the final group. We'll know the answers to this closely fought competition. They on there, a little bit too tight in the landing. Coming to grief on the full twist forwards. It wasn't her intention to finish with a straight back. Not sure why.
Come through for
Placing around, still looking very relaxed. That's good. Got it all to do.
those European Games, 11th you were around for her. Do better than that here. I think there's enough for round one, but still waiting for They have 10.9. When the penalty there, 0.2.
That's the stepping out of the floor deduction.
So the scores across the board, 51.266. So well above the 50 mark, but it's not going to be good enough for a medal. For Hyo Son-mi, that problems on the balance beam. Let's put that behind her. She finished off her night's work.
Starting well with a 1.5 twist. Step out through to a double twist. Double spin. Arms passage, good extension, those leaps. Somersault, one of the requirements on the floor, safely round. And off to the final tumble. Double bike. Got down. Applause from the coaches as well. Good to see.
The problems from Devine behind her. Good job. She regrets about what happened tonight.
Had a great score on the bars, 14.1. Carry that advantage over on the beam, 11.6.
We're back tomorrow, uneven bars. Chance for a medal there. Good luck tonight, but nice way to finish on the floor. Just waiting for that score to come through. Excuse me, 30.033 for Hyo.
So an all-around total of 52.566. It's now then a very important routine from potential medal contender Sasada. Full twisting double back, nailed to the floor. Good start. One and a half twist punch fall. Close to the line, but staying in, I think. Double tuck back, big bounce on the landing, and I think a step out of the area. Costly for Sasada. Pike back.
Costly with that RB for Sasada.
Yeah, some powerful tumbling, but think. A step out of the floor and a rebound on the landing. Very difficult on these super elastic floors. If you don't absorb the landing, then it's going to react back to you.
She started 56 hundredths of a point behind the woman you just saw, Kelly Sim. This is from the aerial camera. You see great power as
there's the mistake. Oh no, I think maybe she's in the floor. That's good. It was very close.
This way on the line is okay. Over is the 0.2 deduction. That very important score for Sociedad, saying a bit over half a point behind Sim. The leader. Teramato ahead of her as well.
오늘 경기의 마지막 경기입니다. 부탁드리겠습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big hand to the gymnast.
Final group is warming up as Sociedad waits for the score.
Scored 13.5 yesterday. Improved.
Sociedad looking for a medal. 13.5 yesterday. Much above that to give her and her fans a real boost. Keep fans over from Japan. Men's team going home with gold. Women with a silver. Nonamura with a silver. Good two games so far. Grab another medal, I wonder. Sada.
Teramato still to go, slightly ahead in points of Sociedad. Can find those landings. She should finish in front.
Don't hold up proceedings too much for the moment because obviously the final set of gymnasts is still warming up. There was a real delay after Elizarova.
So the warm-up's over, but we're still waiting on floor for Sociedad's score.
Some vault action. Second group haven't finished on the vault yet. Scrap to stay in the top 15. Sociedad through 13.466. It's a little bit below 13.5, and the difficulty was 5.4, Paul. It's usually 166.
Yep, that puts her on a final score of 55.432. That would have been top yesterday, so that's the standard to beat now. Teramato going up.
Teramato was beaten by Sociedad in those Japanese nationals.
If she goes clean now, she should finish in front. Another error, 2.5 twist punch front out of the floor. Nerve showing, I think. Spin. Well for the diagonal line then. Running out of floor area. Lovely triple twist. Spring double twist. Difficulty, good style. A few steps there on that double pike. Well, not the best routine from Teramoto. Will it be enough?
0.03 points behind the leader, Sim.
Calculation needs around 12.9 from Sasada. There were 13.7 yesterday. There were a few execution deductions today.
Coming through yet?
Long wait for these floor scores. It's still going. Competitors finishing off. And Kelly Sim waiting patiently in the corner of the floor for her moment.
All that Teramoto can do. It's come through, it's 13.466. Puts her about half a point ahead of Sasada.
55.965, that's the total to chase. And the next gymnast has a chance to make that.
Obviously that's what to change how those two lie. Teramoto ahead of Sasada. Here is Kelly Sim, a chance for a gold medal for Britain. Kelly Sim.
Gonna need a good score, around 13.5. Massive double straight. Great height in that first time. Powerful gymnast. Whip through to pulling back out. Big connection, very difficult. Kelly's going for it. One and a half twist through to a double tuck, manages to stay in the floor. Bit of a step. She's now jumping well with one deep tumble to go. Almost there. Keep the focus. Double pike. Safely through. Job done for Kelly Sim.
To follow the footsteps of Beth Tweddle, she needs 13.433 to probably get the gold. Remember, Martin's needs something very special from Martin's. Coaches look happy with that. 13.433. She's capable of doing it. What a film she got to 13.9. Too many mistakes there, Paul.
No, very powerful tumbling, the only double straight we've seen today. Stepping out of that 1.5 twist, through to a double tuck. Very difficult to pack all of those elements into one floor line and stay in the floor. Whip through to pulling back out. the all-important final tumble. 4 clean apparatus today.
With a flourish. Can she get that 13, 4, 3, 3? Enough. On the vault ahead of us. It's for the minor placings.
Aaron's sitting with bated breath, I think.
Very consistent, nice work. Southampton University student. Japanese looking on as well, obviously. They're hoping the score is not quite as good. Number 13, 13.5 should seal the deal. Put her back ahead of her 2 big rivals, Telemoto and Sasada. They look a happy pair too. They're very worried, Team GB. But it's enough, it's 13.8. 13.8 for Kelly Sim. And the gold medal beckons. With just Martins and Fedorova to go, it's going to need some huge performances from them to overcome Kelly Sim. Let's take a look now at the Russian Fedorova.
Very good floor worker. Top scorer for qualifications. Twist opener. Through to double back. Major stumble, and that's her chances gone. 2.5 twist punch front, just slightly under rotated. Deep on the double pipe. She's through and safe.
She needs 15.2. You think she's anywhere near that?
Well, I don't think she can do that. Big error in the middle. Scored a 14.1 yesterday, so barring a miracle. Should be it.
Few hand jumps going on in British camp there. I obviously think it's done. There's still Philippa Martins to go, but it would be a huge score from Philippa Martins. 15. Exactly 15 for Martins needed. By what's gone on so far, that's impossible. So looks like Britain going home with a gold. Just wait for Philippa Martins, who came in to this competition as the best in qualifying.
There was the mistake. Couldn't control that landing, staggered backwards. She'll pay heavily for that. Double pipe was better.
Medalist with that either.
Chance to make amends tomorrow. Goes into the final, top scorer. And I'm sure she'll want to prove the great floor work that she is.
13-1, so well short.
Goes ahead of the Malaysian to 4th place. With 1 gymnast left to go.
So at the moment it's Sim, Teramoto, Sasada. It's really not realistic for Martins to get above amongst the medals.
Qualified first yesterday, the all-around. Great height on that twisting double back. Great sequence there. Twist safely through. Just a few seconds to go. A very good competition. Great combination. High leaps, good extension. Final tumble now. Tug back. Enjoy the last few seconds. Good job, Philippa.
Philippa Martins needs 14.1 points to grab a medal. More than that, she'll get above Sasada. It's asking a lot because 14.1 is actually the best in qualifying. But those Portuguese fans, well, they're hoping beyond hope. But this is the gold medalist, no doubt now. Kelly Sim, well done, Kelly. It looks like Asuka Teramoto will get the silver. Just see maybe Martins will grab a bronze. She needs a very good score here of, say, 14.1. Quick look at that, Paul.
Great opening tumble. Plenty of height, using the floor well. Another angle. Full twist. Double back somersault and a solid landing. Very powerful gymnast. Does well with the pressure, finding herself in first place going into this competition. Would have been quite a difficult ask, but she performed well over 4 pieces.
So far, Portugal, these games. 14.1. Safely say Sim and Teramoto 1 and 2.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
So the atmosphere between the gymnasts. She's very proud of herself today. She barely put the foot wrong. A winning smile for Kelly Sim.
Yeah, she smiled throughout the competition. I think that's helped her a lot. She'll be all beams in a few seconds when the results confirmed.
Thank you.
Congratulations. 13.66, not enough for Philippa Martins. Disappointment for her. So it's going to be Sim, Teramoto, Sasada. So actually the floor didn't change anything, Paul.
Yes, fantastic result for Kelly Sim. All about stability, and she did just that. Went one better in the qualification competition, stayed on that beam, performed well across the 4 apparatus. Absolutely essential in this all-around competition. And top the pile, 56.332 behind the 2 Japanese, Teramoto and Sasada. Good jobs from them.
They're the final standings then. So following in the footsteps of Beth Tweddle, who won 3 gold medals in the Universiade at Izmir and Belgrade in the uneven bars, and on the floor in Belgrade as well. Britain has another gymnastics gold at the Universiade. So Kelly Sim, Southampton University. Parents are here, very proud parents, I'm sure. I just saw them in the corner there, hugging each other and getting the congratulations from other members of the team. Been a great summer for her, did well at the European Games as well. Kelly Sim will be on top of the podium.
Yes, and a great boost to her chances for selection for the World Championships. Good all-round score.